Caitlin Clark has the potential to completely change WNBA All-Star Weekend forever and do something that will, quote-unquote, grow the game. The reason why I said grow the game is that there are people who literally are like their whole MO is, we're trying to grow the game. And they say they do not want Steph Curry involved in the damn W contest, which is obviously the thing that could really, really grow the game. They don't want Steph Curry involved in WNBA All-Star Weekend because, quote, the WNBA only gets two events, so it would be taking time from WNBA players. I'm like, do you not think that with Caitlin Clark versus Stephen Curry, they would not just add an extra event, which is literally growing the game? Prolonging All-Star Weekend. Indiana have already talked about how it's going to be the biggest All-Star Weekend ever. So they're prolonging All-Star Weekend. So technically growing, literally, by definition, in terms of size, growing All-Star Weekend. People are like, oh, we need to grow the game. It's like, oh no, no one would ever do that. The WNBA only gets two events. And I'm like, what? Like, what? All-Star Weekend's going to be bigger. It's going to be bigger. It's growing. The game is literally growing. And these people that say they want to grow the game are actually, they don't want to grow the game. They literally don't want to grow the game. It is madness. It is absolute madness. Like, genuinely. And to be fair, I think these people were all about grow the game, and then realized, oh crap, growing the game means that, like, I'm going to lose my standing. I'm not even going to say job, because I don't think it's their job. I'm going to lose my standing. But I will say, it is a really, really interesting situation what could end up happening for the WNBA. And I think it would be huge. Obviously, we've now got, obviously, Clark saying she's going to be at All-Star Weekend. She didn't specifically say she was going to be in the WNBA three-point contest. I think that would be a cool thing. But I do think, just like in the NBA, when Steph Curry is known as the main shooter in the NBA, Stephen Curry didn't participate in the NBA three-point contest. Nobody questioned, him doing that because it was a huge thing. And when it comes to Caitlin Clark, if Caitlin Clark she could convince Steph Curry to show up to WNBA All-Star Weekend. If you guys know anything about Stephen Curry, like Stephen Curry in the off season now, he just does side quests. Like, do you not remember last year seeing Stephen Curry like getting up on stage with Paramore singing Misery Business? Like, it wasn't too long ago that Stephen Curry was spotted in a cafe in Ireland and nobody knew who he was. Like, one of my friend's girlfriends was sitting at the table next to them, and as she was walking out, kind of snapped a picture of them. And apparently, like, she was the only person who even had a clue who Steph Curry was. Steph Curry and Aisha Curry were in Ireland. Like, he just does side quests. He literally is out here just doing side quests. So I wouldn't be surprised if showing up to All-Star Weekend in July is one of the side quests that like he could be doing. But you see here, Caitlin Clark's formally declined the invitation to be part of a male versus female three-point contest in next month's All-Star game. Caitlin will not be at NBA All-Star representatives, said in a statement. She wants her first three-point contest to be at WNBA All-Star in Indianapolis. So she doesn't say specifically that like she's going to be in the WNBA one, but it will be at WNBA All-Star Weekend. The NBA had asked FIFA to be part of Battle of the Sexes shooting contest in San Francisco's Chase Center, but that purportedly would have included Sabrina Ionescu and Steph Curry, who went head-to-head to rave reviews in last year's All-Star game in Indianapolis. The league believed Clark's involvement would have massive appeal, but a preference was to wait till the WNBA event in Cambridge. And we had seen it in the Sports Business Journal. We saw that initially when yesterday it was reported that she was disinclined. Not had declined, it was like looking like she was disinclined and it was unofficial that she was going to go and do it. Like it was earlier enough today. Like, Caitlin Clark disinclined. I don't care. To do it. But one thing it does say here is, according to, or where is it? It says here, one scenario would have NBA players such as Curry conceivably reciprocating and doing a similar male versus female shootout at the WNBA All-Star Game next summer. I wouldn't say it's over until it happens, a source of Clark's decision. A lot of stuff comes together very, very late. So there is still a possibility that Caitlin Clark, because that was still in the talks, that, maybe Steph Curry will do it. I think Steph Curry might just do it. I think Steph Curry might just do it as like a, good, not goodness of his heart, but like just for the crack. And yes, in Irish, the word fun translates to crack. So, but he would do it for, I'd say he might just do it for the fun of it. And that would be something that would be very Steph Curry. Just doing it for the fun of it. No money. Just, go help out, and he'd probably have a bit of fun at WNBA All-Star Weekend. So, yeah, it is a really, really interesting one to see what happens. And with the Stephen Curry fella, I think he could actually be involved. And that would be so big. Like, that would be so, so big. Like, because it would make the Friday night of All-Star Weekend, the WNBA, so much viewed. Like, I think that this would be, in terms of the NBA, it would still be, like, really big. It would be really, really big if Caitlin Clark was there, but it would be even bigger for WNBA's All-Star Weekend. Like, the Saturday night, or it was a Friday, Saturday last year? I think it was Friday, Saturday last year. So the first night, anyway, it was still big. It was still really, really big. But it will be 100 times bigger this year. Like, with Caitlin doing just the 3-point contest, it's one thing. But if Caitlin was in a Steph Curry thing, it would be unbelievable. It would be absolutely, absolutely unbelievable. Like, that would be great. And then you've got all the other players in their own thing. Maybe, like, it would be Steph versus Caitlin. Or maybe Sabrina Ionescu is in that as well. So everyone is watching. They're watching All-Star Weekend. They can watch all the other players in their 3-point contest. They can watch this, like, Battle of the Sexes 3-point contest. And then they might stay for the skills challenge. Like, a lot of the time, people aren't just going to watch for that 5 minutes. If it's like a 2-hour event, they might just stay and watch all of it. Which would be really, really nice. Really, really nice. But anyway, yeah. It would be big. It would be absolutely, absolutely huge for the WNBA All-Star Weekend. And ironically, it would grow the game. As much as the grow the game people are saying they don't want this, nothing would do more to grow the game than this. Like, we saw how good it was last year at NBA All-Star Weekend. If they can pull, like, Caitlin Clark, Sabrina Ionescu does not have the pull to get people to watch WNBA All-Star Weekend, but Caitlin Clark does. And if you can get Steph Curry there too, it would be huge. But anyway, I'll see you guys.